Actually, there's a video I need to do before I do classes, and that's going to be the functions because you kind of need to know functions in order to do classes. Now, basically, a function has a fancy name inside of a class called method, but it's really the same thing. A function in a class is the same thing. And so, what I really want to do is um, create a function. So, in order to do that, we have to say define, but not the word define, just def. You see it lights up here. And we want to do the actual name of it. So, I'm going to say do some stuff, some parentheses for parameters it might take in, and then a colon like that. And so what we want to do is inside of here we want to do some stuff. So let's just say print I doing some stuff right now, like that. And so, and that's probably like what you don't want to hear if you're lonely like me. So I'm doing something right now, just trying to like hang out with somebody. So that's basically what you would put there. And then like what we want to do is we want to just say down here we want to actually call it. So we can just say do some stuff like that, and then now it should actually run. I'm doing some stuff right now. Now, if I comment this out and run it, nothing happens because we didn't actually call the method. So in order to use a method that we've created, we want to call it. And so that's why we would do it here like that. Now, what if I actually put the method below do some stuff? What would happen? Well, never mind. It still works. In the past, or at least maybe that's just for inside of functions. That's inside another function. Sometimes you want to put it above. Python is one of those abstract languages that you don't have to actually worry about that. In languages like C++, you have to prototype it. So actually, just forget what I just said. It still works. So that's how you would do functions. But let me actually bring this back because I want to. Let me just bring this back because I want to. Put a parameter in here. So let's say we want to put in a parameter of like a name. And let's say we want to do something like that. And then say format name. Make sure you put the 0 in there. And so basically it's going to need a name. So if I just say do some stuff, and I don't put a name in there, you can see required missing one required position or argument name. That's called a parameter. They call it arguments as well. It's the same thing. Basically, you have to pass in something to the function in order for it to do something. So now what I want to do is I want to pass in something. So if I say like that, I'm doing some stuff right now, Jamar, right? So what if you don't want to pass in something and you want to default? So like basically so you don't get an error. You could use a try and except, or you could say name is equal to whatever you want a default value to be for that parameter, and it still works. So that's how you would add a default for a parameter if you don't want to pass something in, but you still want a default. Now something else you can do is return stuff. So let's say we want this function to return something instead of just doing something. Right now, like before we put the return, this is called a void function. So void. So this function is of type void, meaning it doesn't return anything, it just does something. Now we want it to return something, so we want to use the return keyword. And what do we want it to return? Well, we can just simply just take this right here. Oops, not copy or control V, but control C and then control V. So then we can, wait, what? Oh, I didn't copy it. Okay, let me do that again. That was from another lesson. Alright, so you can see here it's redundant right now. Or maybe not. I thought it was going to give me like redundancy thing there, but it didn't. Okay, so let's get rid of this. And now we want to return this. So if we just call this, nothing happens because we didn't actually retrieve the value, right? Now what if we do print? do some stuff. Now we can get really tricky now, right? Print, and then we can put the function in there like that. Now let's run it. I'm doing some stuff right now. So we return the string. Now this doesn't quite make sense. Let me do it another way. Let's say new string. Let's just say a statement is equal to do some stuff. So you can see we're assigning it to a value that we return here. So now if we print the statement, I'm doing some stuff right now. So that's basically how you would use functions. That's like the different ways of doing it. You can pass other functions into functions. It's really dynamic what you can do, but this is just how you would do it. I hope you really understand this, because this is going to be important when learning classes in the next video, because classes consist of members and functions, or basically variables and functions, or variables and methods. Basically, so these variables and these functions, that's what a class is. We just didn't put these inside of a class. This is just in the temp.python file. But if we wanted to put this in an object that we could use over and over again in different places, then you want to basically put it in the class and then be able to import that class. So you'll see all that in the next video. Stay tuned, and see you later.